So first,
Absolutely.
and I was
Let's dig it all up.
Oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So sidebar.
Yes. And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is also podcast with video for Patreon. Yeah, that's it. I don't know why I made it sound like there was something after that, but there's video for Patreon. So.
I mean, there's always fun things on Patreon.
You're welcome. Okay, before we get into the episode, because I think we have a lot to talk about, we want to just dive right in. We have an Instagram, a TikTok, a YouTube, and a Patreon, and all of that is in our description. You can find all the links. And also, please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. But to be honest, I haven't been looking to see if we've gotten any reviews. And that's on me. But I'm gonna go.
I have
with
looked at it once.
So.
No, I've looked at it once. We haven't.
Okay, I thought maybe I just missed it, but
no. And for a peek to the magic sauce for people, we used to get them emailed to us, but that thing went away.
Fuck?
Ugh, so it made our job harder.
It's not like we have anything to be emailed to us anyway, but which kind of sucks.
See, now, for a while there, we could have blamed it on the system going away, though.
No, it's just
maybe there's something out there. Wink, wink. Anybody listening?
Guess, no news is
Anybody
good
out
news, there? But I'll take bad news at this point, too.
I mean, the no press is bad press. Give me anything at this point.
Oh, my God. Never forget when Meredith got a bad review and it killed her. It ate her at her core.
It did. Actually, please don't. I'm actually super mentally unstable right now.
I'm always mentally unstable, but try and come at me.
Please don't do it. Can you wait till after the holidays? I already have to go see my family, so let's not tip me over the edge before that.
I'm still waiting for someone to take up my challenge and DM me something terrible. I'm waiting. But whatever. Can you leave a fucking review? Thanks. Okay, great. Let's just hop right in because I feel like we need some sort of celebration because last week was a clusterfuck and this week, though a little better, is still clusterfuck.
1000%.
So we're going to do small celebrations because we celebrate even the littlest of wins. Meredith, what's your small celebration?
I know last week my small celebration was that Kansas basketball was back, but my small celebration this week is that we won both our games since I last spoke to you guys, and I'm fucking on fire. I cannot wait. I need them to do well. I need them to do well this season.
I hope you take this offensively, but it's like talking to an Ohio State fan.
This is the thing I care about the most
when it comes to sports.
That's not true. A lot of people care about college basketball, and I am one of on the top of that list.
Do you ever watch the girls play? The women?
I do, and I'm super excited about the UConn game this Friday. I believe it's at 5 o'clock. I always forget with time zones.
Got my girlfriend on it. Paige Buchers.
Yeah.
I decided if I was a lesbian, I need someone a little mask. And Paige gives the energy that I'm like, that's it. That's the energy I would need.
Totally feel that. And I'm going to pin that exact comment in this conversation for when we talk about some TV shows we're watching, because I have a perfect example. And this actually might get you into Housewives again.
You want to talk about lesbians?
Yes.
Okay. I've also thought Casey from Big Brother kind of would work too, but she doesn't have enough big dick energy, you know?
Yes.
From season 16, I think. She won whatever season that was. Oh, I need her a little more like.
That had to be 2018 because we still worked together when that season was on.
It was before COVID, so that's how I define all things now. But Paige Buchers gives great energy. And let me tell you, I'm trying to become a lesbian now, especially what's happening with the world. I just don't want to give my time to men.
Makes sense.
And since the alt-right thinks it's a choice, I'm trying to choose to be lesbian, and it's not working for me. So I don't know what the fuck's wrong with them. They lied to me. I thought I could choose. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously,
technically, you could choose to do it.
Obviously, it's a bit, but I thought I could choose. It's a bit.
Hey, I'm ready to explore my sexuality away from men.
It would be Paige Buchers. I had a friend once who was like, maybe I'm lesbian and went on a date with a girl just to see what happened.
How did it go?
She made a really great friend.
That is actually like such a plus. Is
Wait,
I just
no,
think
there
the
was
dating
more.
scene.
You cut me off too soon.
You had a pause there.
I know, because
A
I was
long
thinking of how to
pause.
say this. She made a really great friend for a little bit, and then the girl was too into my friend, and my friend was not gay.
Dang it. I was gonna say, like, I feel like it would just be a more pleasant dating situation, but I guess
It
there
was.
is always the someone is going to like someone more, and it is
She
hard
said
to
it
be
was the
friends with
best date.
somebody. Well, no matter your sexuality, I think it is always hard to remain friends if there was any type of attraction there.
Yeah. She did say, though, it was the best date she's been on because it was with a woman, and I'm sure that was more enjoyable than dating a man.
Safer space.
Yeah, and she was like, you know what? It was a good try. And I was like, no, shout out.
Hey.
I think the thing is, though, and this might change now where the world's headed, but gay women sometimes don't love, I've heard this from my friends, don't love when like straight girls come through and are like, no, I'm totally gay. And then you're not. And then they fall in love with you and you just were using them for who knows what.
No, that would be so frustrating.
But I'm open to if someone wants to try to turn me.
That's the thing. I wouldn't go on a dating app seeking it out. But if I met someone that I still hold this, I always think like I'm just kind of open that if somebody interests me, I think I would still pursue it. I kind of see that with like Chriselle Staus had that, I feel like, where she was like always openly straight, at least publicly. And then I know she met like G Flip and was just so into they're they them, right? Pronouns?
Yeah.
So into G Flip that it changed.
Yeah, she was really into them.
It's not like it changes your whole world. It's like that person changes it's just that person connects with you.
Whatever that is, that's what I am. I think it might be pan. I don't know. Why define it? Whoever wants to date me can date me. Is like whoever I want to date can date.
Why are we trying to grasp feelings with
if I like just someone,
like language? Why do we need to like define everything?
Side note though, I think G Flip also could be a little my type. I just need to see a little more of her to like really know.
Alicia, I haven't watched this season, like latest season of Selling Sunset. I know you did a run through on the podcast, so that's the only version I've gotten. But I think I watched the last season, and G Flip's like personality is
hot.
It. Yes,
they were hot. Sorry.
Yes, no, you're.
They were hot.
I was into it. So I get what you're saying. Yeah.
That, and then just to round it out, my number one crush is currently in the WNBA.
Oh.
Her name's Katie Martin.
I'm looking her up.
She was on Iowa. She was on Iowa.
I was like, that sounds actually very familiar.
She didn't think she was going to get drafted, but she went to the draft with Caitlin Clark to like cheer her on, and then got picked to the to Las Vegas, I think, the Aces. But she is, I'm telling you, if I was gay, that's my type. That would be my type. I am intimidated by her, and she's younger than me. I am intimidated by her. I don't know what I would do if I met her. I would like.
So do you think it's like you're attracted to like the awe of someone?
No, because I think I could meet a famous person and be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
There's something about her attitude that I'm like, It's like a Katie Maloney attitude, which I'm also attracted to.
Okay. I'm like starting to grasp the like demographic that I'm circling.
Have difficulty deciding if I want to be like that person or want to be with that person.
And I can't
distinguish it.
That is a really uniquely female thing, or like not non-male, like non-cis male, I would say. Not really because like obviously G Flip's they them too. So I would say it's like it's rarely seen in cis guys, that type of energy. I think that you're like I'm gonna call it intrigued by, because like you said, it could be like you want to be them or you want to be with them, but you're just drawn to that.
Yeah, I've never looked at a man and gone, I want to be like him.
No.
So like I don't know if I'm just like attracted
I want to be like him.
Yeah, woof. I don't know if I'm attracted to that energy and I want to like just be around it or be that energy, or if I want to like date that energy. Because let me tell you, if I met Katie Maloney too, I would also be like, I don't know what to do or say, but I could probably meet Ariana and I'd be more together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get that.
So I don't know. It's a thing I need to distinguish, and maybe I'll have a sexual awakening. I don't have to. It's my life. Who cares?
Yeah.
But I did meet someone this weekend. Not met, but we don't know each other well. But I saw someone at a party this weekend, and she told me that she was dating this guy for like 9 years. They were engaged. They lived together. They were going to get married soon. And she went to a wedding without him. Not for any weird reason, just like he couldn't make it. And so she went. And she met a woman and she cheated on him with this woman. And then she was like, that's what I'm supposed to be. And she went home and broke up with him. And she was like, he tried to be like understanding in the sense that like, I'm gay. So he, you know,
it's not like he did anything.
Yeah, but also she technically did cheat on him and end the relationship. So he's also obviously pissed off.
Rightfully so, yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, I was like, that's the weirdest situation.
That's so complex because it's not just, those are the moments where
I don't hate you because you're gay. I hated you because you cheated on me.
Correct. But I hate to say like I understand cheating, but I see how sometimes cheating happens. Like I think when it's like a long-standing affair, I can never understand that. But like we're all human and people make mistakes, and especially like when alcohol's involved and emotions, like shit happens that I mean, I don't want it to happen to me and I don't want it to happen to anybody else, but like that is so hard. But I'm so happy that she just like went home and was like, nope, I know exactly who I am today.
And now she's dating that woman, and I was like,
at least it ended up like that too.
Yeah, and she's like, she's 30, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for my sexual awakening to come. That's right. Let me tell you, for the next 4 years, I can't date men. It'll drive me nuts. And just so everyone's aware, the men on your dating apps are now putting that they're liberal just to pull more women.
I was just talking to my therapist about this.
And they're gonna lie about who they dated. They're all over TikTok like, oh, just tell them you dated for Kamala and lie. No.
Okay, can we talk about that? Because I find that if men are doing this, that's so embarrassing.
That's so stupid.
Like, stand on your decisions. Like, I actually would respect you more if you wholeheartedly believed in something and stood on it than like trying to hide it, or you don't want to talk about it or explain it away or be wishy-washy or lie. Like, that is just so odd.
No,
I could never imagine not being myself completely, especially in a relationship.
Just to get laid. Specifically.
I could get it for just getting laid for one night if you're on there just to like bang people. But like if you're trying to enter into a relationship,
either way. How pathetic are you? Sorry, your choices don't warrant you getting your dick wet. Make different choices. Be a better person. I don't know. Get lost.
Oh my God.
Literally, we don't need men. What happens when all the men disappear? We go on with a great society, or what?
Can we raise like
how'd that movie end?
Was there a movie?
No, I don't know, but like, can we make one?
What do I need to watch? That could heal me right now.
It was kind of like Barbie. I mean, we all ended up fine. Ken cried himself to sleep, and we made it. Although we all know my beef with Barbie was that why was it so easy for the women to fall for the patriarchy? Ken just showed up and was like, we do horses now.
But also it was so easy to like snap him out of it too.
Yeah, it was nothing made sense about that. I
think it was like really cute, the speech, and I think that speech should be said to me every single day of my life. Yeah. But like I can't just walk up to anybody and say that speech and then they'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I'm cured.
Yeah.
Also, we were already in a dominating woman society full of strong women who ruled the world, and then they were like, oh, Ken rules world now.
Well, we didn't see the fall of Barbie to patriarchy. So
I know, but it happened in like a day. So I'm a little concerned. I
don't know the time difference between Barbie world and the real world.
Because it was immediately like, oh, girls don't have to make decisions. That's good.
Maybe there's more days compared to one day in real world. Let's just go with that. Let's just say it took years.
There was something crazy that happened there. It took 5 seconds. Understand. Never understand.
It took horses. That's what was crazy.
No, there's something missing in that movie, and I will always hold Barbie accountable for that.
I understand.
So yeah. Anyway.
What was your small celebration?
Oh, I didn't have one. I'm gonna pull one out my butt. So while we're on the topic, because I really honestly didn't have one until we started talking about it, but I have been blocking all creators who lean right politically, because then they don't get monies for my views.
I love that.
It's been really fun where if I see someone,
Mhm.
mostly it's people stitching other people's videos, and then I look up these people just to block them, which has been really fun. Book talk.
Oh, so it's people like you didn't follow prior.
No,
it's to like ensure that it never crosses your feed.
Yeah, I did go through a few of my followers and unfollow and or block. But yeah, for the most part, it'll be like, you know, that Nick Fuentes guy?
Yes.
Fucking weirdo.
Yes, because I have to share similar air to him being in the same city.
There's also a rumor that he might live in Astoria, New York, so neither one of us is safe.
Well, he has to leave his house because they doxed him.
Well, I know that whole story. I'm on it. But yeah, so Nick Fuentes was someone that I had never followed or even heard of before. And then everyone started doing videos of him. So I looked up Nick Fuentes just so I could block him. My blacklist is huge.
Mine is too. And even before this pandemic, by the way, whenever I hear that creators are raging assholes, I specifically on TikTok, I do go block them because it's a lot easier for them to just cross my page.
Yeah. And I like the idea that people are losing hundreds of thousands of followers and tons of money with that. So,
yeah, because listen, I do think people are redeemable, and that's where I could unblock them also, by the way. But there is a line that when you like, you can do something so bad that it's not it for me.
I think, well, if you voted for this clown in 2016 or even 2020, I can somehow be like, okay, you're like maybe redeemable. But in 2024, like the call's coming from inside the house. We already know what's going to happen.
Alicia,
like, you're not redeemable to me.
Speaking of this and kind of sidestepping into the news portion of our podcast,
I have news on this too.
The Google searches that are happening after
me.
I have to live in the funniness of it, or I will just continue to cry for the rest of my life. But people are Googling, if anybody didn't know, people are Googling two main things. There's more things being Googled, obviously, but one is, can I change my vote?
Yep.
And what is a tariff?
Yep. Do you want us to tell them what states are mainly Googling these?
Mainly red states.
Nope.
Sorry. The why can't I think of the word?
The swing states.
Correct.
Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona. You gotta be goddamn effing kidding me.
No, Alicia, it's not, because I had to explain to my dad, who is a lawyer, what a tariff was. Granted, hey, I took econ classes and he did not, but still.
Okay, I'm so dumb. I'm the first to admit how dumb I am when it comes to world stuff. You could ask me how to do my 401k and I would go, hell if I know. I know very little. And I'm an accountant, so that's saying a lot of how terrible and unsmart I am.
That's finance, though. That's not...
Worldly stuff. You think I paid attention in history? Nightmare. Couldn't tell you anything. 90% of anything. Couldn't do it. However, when we were all talking about tariffs, I took my dumb ass to TikTok of all places and looked up what's a tariff, and someone explained it to my dumb ass. And I went, oh yeah, I knew that, but of course I didn't put it together, but somewhere in my
that makes sense.
Knowledge, something like that had come across my life. And so now I was reminded, and did no one else, you could go on to TikTok and look up the definition. You don't even have to Google it.
What's worse is he put tariffs during his first presidency and it collapsed. Or he put tariffs on and we had reverse tariffs, or additional tariffs like other countries applied to our goods, and it collapsed our farming industry, and people don't even know that. Can you imagine that with our any industry we do? We're the third largest, it's like third, fourth, or fifth or something, largest automotive creator.
Yep.
We are fucking screwed.
Yep. I love trying to explain tariffs to people in the I use something they love. I use Tesla because everyone who voted for Donald Trump must also be sucking Elon Musk's ass.
What's wild is they hate electric cars. They hate sustainable energy.
Hilarious. But what people don't get is like all the parts to make a Tesla come from other places.
Yes.
And then the parts come to the United States, and the engineers with high education in the United States put the car together like a fun little puzzle, right? That's how that works. Now, I see where they're coming from in the sense that they're like, if we tariff these goods, we're going to make that in-house.
Which, like, I love trying to make things American-made a little bit more. Love the dream
Here's
a
what
little
happens.
bit.
So then you have all these engineers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are like, okay, how do we get these parts? We either need to hire people to make, I don't know, a steering wheel, which the unemployment rate is already at 5%. So I don't know where it's actually at 4.1%. I don't know where you're getting these people to. Well,
we're also kicking a bunch of workers out of the country. So really, where are you getting these people?
Mass deportation. So where are we getting these people? Then, okay, so we don't have these people. We then need to probably make it ourselves. Like the engineers have to then make it, which they're going to want to be compensated for, which they're not going to be able to because we're losing money buying these parts because it's going to be more expensive in the US.
Also, you can't just dream up a steering wheel. You got to get the materials for the steering wheel somewhere.
Which the materials are not in the US.
So we got to also start doing that.
Yep. So who's making the materials? So now we don't have Teslas, basically. Okay. Also, the other countries don't pay tariffs. We set our own laws in this country. So if we set a tariff law, that only affects us.
Correct.
Hilarious. Also, side note, Stephen King, the author, he on X called Elon Musk the first lady, and he got kicked off of X.
That's iconic.
Stephen King's a hero. And that's how I will be referring to Elon Musk too, the first lady.
Did you know that, I mean, don't fact check me actually on this, people, but I saw a TikTok video of a...
Knowledge. I just told you that's where I found out what a tariff was.
It was like a reporter video on it, so it wasn't just like some random person talking, but that I believe Elon went to the Super Bowl and somebody else did, and I forget who the other account was, but both accounts tweeted about the Super Bowl, and the other person's got like 5 times the amount of views, and Elon was so mad that he changed the algorithm of Twitter, so his has a like exponential, like 20 times like viewability than every other person on the platform.
Yeah, I knew that because I get Elon Musk's tweets and Donald Trump's tweets, and I followed neither of them. And I got all of his campaign stuff. And you can't
block people. Like, you can't block him.
No. So I have been getting them for forever. I haven't been on X since, and I'm debating deleting my account because at this point,
highly recommend.
It's just not it. But also, Bravo has such funny tweets. You know, it's just like so
I know. Good. I wish Threads really took off with creators.
I wish. Yeah, so like fuck Elon Musk because I've been getting that. And even election night, he had like a Donald Trump hashtag trending, but it was paid. No one was using it, which was extra funny.
That's what I think is you have to work so hard to be cared about.
No, literally. Also, I'm going to be Craig for a second because I have a conspiracy theory that I've been hearing around. So there's rumors on the street that Kamala's calling for a recount, and I'm scared it's going to break my heart.
I think she's already started filing stuff.
I know that she's an amazing lawyer, but it's going to hurt my heart.
All I want to say is I was never mad that Donald Trump asked like for votes to be counted. That is actually very standard process to like file in courts. It's like how you go about it.
Yeah. I was mad that he then told everyone to storm the Capitol and the election results weren't real.
And like still won't do it even after the court cases went through.
I don't like how stupid JD Vance, when asked, do you believe the 2020 election results? He goes, I don't want to live in the past. I want to live in the future. And then
proceeds to talk about other things that happened in the past.
Yeah, that dude's the creepiest man. Like, he's my sleep paralysis demon.
my God.
That's him. Like, ew. You know,
Can you imagine being his wife? Either of their wives?
No, I'd rather be lesbian. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be celibate.
Lock me up in a Russian prison before I ever deal with any of that.
No, literally, just kill me. I see him on my TV screen and I get the heebie-jeebies. That guy is so weird.
I agree, Alicia.
Okay.
No, you know the people. Go ahead.
Would you rather be trapped in a room for 5 minutes with Donald Trump or JD Vance?
Donald Trump.
No, Donald Trump. Same.
Because I would find it actually a little fascinating to get eyes on the specimen. JD Vance just feels like, you know how you feel like you're being watched? He's the personification of that feeling.
Little eyes.
His little eyeliner eyes, ugh.
I don't know what it is. And at least if we were trapped in a room with Donald Trump, I could be like, hey, could you take your hand and just rub? Is that real or fake?
That's the thing.
What's on your face? What's the color?
Would be fascinated.
What's your complexion? Can you rip your hair off for a second? Let me see if it's real.
I want to see him try to read. I want to see him
stand for 5 minutes and see if he gets winded.
I want to see a good old thumbs up in person, and I want to see him down a McDonald's hamburger and dictate tweet to for other people to tweet and
There's
social.
A lot. Yeah. JD Vance would just make me feel like I'm about to be murdered.
I would be checking over my shoulder.
I'm gripping thinking about being locked in a room with JD Vance. It's terrifying. That dude, terrible.
Literally, hide your kids, hide your wife.
Because JD Vance is on these streets. Ugh, I cannot believe.
And in these offices, he has power.
I cannot believe that even if people were like, I like Donald Trump, looked at that weirdo and was like, I think we need to go back to basics when the Democratic Party just would look at JD Vance and Trump and just be like, they're weird. I think we just need to keep calling them weird.
I'm so mad
that was hilarious.
They put a cap on Tim Walz saying that they're weird. I honestly think we need to bring back social shaming.
But the least offensive stuff, because then people will get more offended.
No, correct.
Weird isn't that offensive.
No.
But people were so mad. It's
but they also can't whine and cry and be the victim fully, because then weird. It's also why are you so upset you're being called weird? You know, when people argue with you and they're yelling and you stay calm, it just makes them look crazier. That is how calling them weird comes off.
I think we should use weird. I think we should bring loser back, because loser's a funny one. You're a loser.
Just even a thumbs down.
Yeah, didn't Craig or Lindsay call each other losers? That was a big fucking thing on Summer House. I thought it was funny. To call someone a loser is such a funny insult. To call someone weird, you're just a weirdo. That's hilarious. You're just strange.
Can I tell you what I'm doing to be active post-election and how I'm trying to, spread the good word and
of course
turn pain into suffering for other people?
I would prefer it.
This is Emotional Support Water Bottle. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Ailish. We're two besties who don't leave the house without their water bottles.
Every week, we're bringing you conversations about pop culture news, relatable real-life topics, and our random thoughts about the world today.
We cover things like Bravo TV recaps, breaking celebrity scandals, and Hollywood updates, and dig deeper on topics relating to navigating our 30s, dating and relationships, and keeping our work, social lives balanced.
So grab your water bottles and look out for new episodes every Friday.
Here is what I'm doing more than just, I love the bracelet idea, but here's where I'm taking that into action. I downloaded the Goods Unite Us app, and I will be checking every single place and every single brand that I buy from for the next 4 years.
Oh my God, I love that.
It tells you where they donated money and who to, because, listen, I'm not someone who despises Republicans just for being Republicans on a policy basis. And so you can see what Republicans, so if they're from 8 years ago or 20 years ago, it tells you who it is.
Yeah.
So then you can even make an assessment based on, if it tells you percentages too, 80% Republican, 20% of their spending goes to like Republicans or Democrats, but it breaks it down by candidate too, which I think is really great.
Did you see some people are calling out companies? Were you surprised by any?
I am, because of some of it was misinformation. People are saying Sephora donated to Trump, and I don't think that that's true. So I would say check it yourself if you are ever considering it. And the Goods Unitas app has literally a searchable bar where you can check everybody.
Yeah, but no one shop at Hobby Lobby.
Oh, well, that one was obvious.
Don't shop at Chick-fil-A, and also don't
That's
shop...
going to be... Just on pure product, Chick-fil-A is always a tough one because they have such a fucking good product.
Yeah,
but
Chick-fil-A just opened up near me, but we have to fight the good fight.
Agreed. And let me just tell you, to everybody, make it at home. The reason it's so good is they actually marinate their chicken in pickle juice. I've made it. It tastes just as good. So make it at home.
And also stop shopping at Walmart. I mean, we knew that one. They're based in Arkansas, but like, fuck you.
I know.
Fuck you. Only go to Target.
Well,
go on.
I'm going even a step further, because obviously some things like you have to buy. Like, I'm not living without toilet paper. But I am buying reusable paper towels. I already have some and I've loved them. So I'm going to try and even curb my paper towel usage just for the environment as well. Double dip in my efforts there. Mm-hmm. But I'm becoming basically the liberal trad wife. I've already been making my own dishwasher pods, and I actually enjoy having little hobbies of making things. I make my own dessert bites instead of eating ice cream. I've already always made my own chicken broth and vegetable broth. So everybody grab your Instapot and pressure cookers and make your own shit. But I will start making my own hummus here next week. So I'm cutting out all these fucking brands, whether they spend money or on political candidates or not, because every single one of them rose their prices and didn't decrease them during, like, with inflation. So that's on them. And I'm no longer being a customer unless you're a raw ingredient.
Oof, love. You should share your recipes on our Patreon.
Oh, I love that. I will literally put, every time I'm making something, I have to make my dishwasher pods tonight.
Your traditional trad wife. Put it on TikTok too. Be a trad, liberal trad wife.
Literally, I'm rebranding trad wife for the liberals, people. It is for the single girlies especially. Like, let's bring hobbies back. Let's bring that bread baking back. Like, screw these corporations.
I need to get into that because I'm just feminist rage right now.
I enjoy it. I love being a little crafty, so it's always been fun for me. And I just literally where I'm recording now, I can watch my TV. So I do it all at my work desk, and so I can watch TV while I'm doing whatever I'm doing.
Love.
So yeah.
This is going to be hard for me, and I got to take the time to do it, but I haven't been on Goodreads since the election. It's owned by Jeff Bezos, and he can.
Have you heard of the replacement one? Yeah.
It's owned by a Black woman. And apparently it's really easy to transfer your Goodreads information onto Storygraph, which I just need to find the time to do. Opening up Goodreads. Also, you have to email the doc to yourself, and I was on my phone and I was like, fuck, I can't do all this. So I didn't.
I get that.
But it's on my list, and I haven't opened up that Goodreads in a hot minute.
Listen, if we all do it, I know my $5 of hummus every week doesn't really add up, but if every single person does it, it does add up.
Also, you're gonna want to do it once the tariffs start.
Yeah, and do it at your own pace, because I have I'm really privileged to be able to work from home and be able to spend my time doing this stuff. Not everybody has that luxury. So don't be hard on yourself if you can't make all the cuts that everybody else is doing. You got to do it where it fits your life.
Any little bit helps.
Yeah.
Any little bit. So even if one time you make your own hummus and the next time you buy some hummus, you're helping.
Yeah.
You help take a little bit more money out of their pockets.
Very, very true.
And that's what we're trying to do. Oh my God, this is like a feminist rage podcast, and I'm so done with it. Can we talk drama, though?
Yeah. Let's get into fun and flirty things.
Okay. I want to talk about something so crazy.
Okay,
go. Coming.
Okay. Wait, have you seen the toast clip where they one girl says that? One of the sisters says that, and she goes, "Oh my God, what? Doing drugs?" And she goes, "Crazier." And then she said she watched a show.
My God. No,
Keep going. Sorry.
It's bad. I like the toast, but also I've heard some terrible things about them, so I don't know what to do.
I know. Okay.
So I don't listen. I just completely forget about them.
I just see their stuff on
but they are
socials.
fun. They do have funny bits. Anyway, no, I want to talk about uncontacted people.
Wait, what?
So, like, you know how okay, there's specifically people talk about one island in particular. I don't know where it is, but it's like this very secluded island where people have not been contacted. They're called
my God.
uncontacted people. And you're not supposed to go to this island because they'll attack you because they don't speak your language or anything. And like you could bring them diseases. Like they just haven't left this island. They just have a civilization on their own. And when people have tried to go, they get killed. But there's some video footage of these people, and they are like, you know, they got spears. There's no technology whatsoever.
Yeah.
But then I went down this whole like TikTok hole where it's like, well, they're not the only ones. There has to be, there's some like in the depths of like Africa or in the depths of like South America.
Amazon rainforest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. So like, then some guy was like, do you think these people should be contacted? And I was like, that's interesting. No, but also I want to see more videos of them.
I think it's their choice. Like they should be able to make.
They might not know. If you've never left the place you live, that's the thing is they don't know what's happening.
But here's the thing. You would have to meet them where they're at in their language. And it's like,
but they're not going to come. You don't know the language. That's the thing is you don't know the language they speak. You barely know where they are. Like, let's just talk about this one island. People know where they are. You show up. You don't speak the language they're speaking. You don't even know what it is. Even if
take it as an attack of you coming because they don't know your intentions. They can't speak to you.
They don't know you. There was one like white dude that went, and these people are very dark skinned, and they were probably like alien. Die. Yeah, some Christian missionary one.
Shocking.
I know, hilarious. But it's not
the
funny,
Mormon church is like, we can explore this.
Yeah, just go.
No, I don't think we should. I think, again, they should, if they're curious and want to explore outside of their world, they should like make contact with us and like figure it out. Not that they should do all the legwork, but like they should be the one to basically request it.
It's just kind of crazy. Like they don't know. So like even the people on the island are trapped there. They're not going to leave. So they won't know ever. The people in the Amazon rainforest is fucking huge. They could walk for miles and miles and probably never make it.
Alicia, that's so wild to think
Isn't that
about.
Crazy. I know. And it's kind of weird because I read all these like fantasy dystopian like young adult stuff. Like even think like of Divergent. They were trapped in a fucking bubble. They didn't know what was out. They were uncontacted.
Because I rewatched the first movie somewhat often, but I always forget how it ended and that everybody was outside.
Yeah, it was,
and they were an experiment.
Yep, they were uncontacted people. But luckily for them, they were in a controlled environment.
Yes, and they had people like from the outside going in undercover.
Yeah. Imagine how terrifying if you're an uncontacted person and you stumble upon a city.
Alicia,
I'd be terrified.
Remember that trend that was like what would send what would what's it called?
Paltrow?
No, like what would send them into like a psych ward of the like people from generations ago. Like seeing a TV, seeing like social media, seeing FaceTime, having a call would literally send me into a mental spiral.
If you were uncontacted, yeah. Crazy. That was my only everyone think about the uncontacted people once in a while.
Probably have much more peace.
But I'm a little jealous. And we'll never know.
Because, listen, I think there's always, like, life problems for sure, but I think...
Well, they're camping for life. That's a terrible problem to have.
Yeah, but you've never had the comfort of a bed.
It's true.
So, like, I think we create more problems because we are, like, it is actually studied that, like, our generations, like, further generations know more, so then you're actually end up being unhappier because you know what, like, you could have, or, like, you just know about things more.
Yeah. It's kind of wild, though. So maybe next time you're feeling down, think of the uncontacted people.
No, because that's going to make me spiral more. Like, I want to be one of those people. Leave me alone. Uncontact me.
Jesus. I'd be like, I could be camping right now. That would be miserable.
I don't find camping that miserable, so I don't think I would be unhappy.
It's like being on Survivor 24/7.
Okay, I want food though. Those people have access to food.
Yeah, that they're killing and then eating themselves.
That's fine. I mean, that would become normal. So like, I'd be okay. I'd get over my problems.
You go be uncontacted, girly. Enter the Amazon.
Oh my God.
Anyway, that was my first part of news. What's yours?
Did you see the Zach Bryan diss track from Barstool?
God, though, but do I hate Dave Portnoy? But yeah, I heard it.
I know. Like, Dave is not my number one enemy.
No, he's up there for me.
But he's not, like, I just like what happened with Zach Bryan more to be able to enjoy, like, I can give Dave 1.5 of pass just to enjoy the diss tracks.
I don't think I know who Zach Bryan is. I know
he's that country artist who does Something in the Orange.
One of his songs.
Really?
I've never heard a Zach Bryan song. I only know him because he started dating the chicken
fry.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I had some of his music, and to be honest, similar to the point you made on like TikTok and Instagram,
you blocked him.
I blocked him on Spotify. Do not show me any of his music.
No, I mean, I think that's why I'm unaffected. Also, I don't know if I like chicken fry either.
Oh, I don't like her. I think she's terrible. I love the art of a diss track, and I appreciate the commitment to this bit.
Oh, the commitment was wild.
Yeah. Because
you know who I am? Sorry, you go first.
It's giving, like, we already got, Who the Fuck Did I Marry? And then we got, like, Surviving Clinton Kane. And I just really enjoy, I'm so sorry about traumatizing experiences, but thank you so much for making it in a entertainment format for the rest of us.
Yeah. It's like Your Life is Our TV show.
Correct.
I will say, though, I like Grace O'Malley. She does a podcast with that chicken fry girlie.
Yeah.
And chicken fry was kind of mean to her, so I don't think I like
Not her, mean, very dismissive.
But I like Grace. I think she's a funny comedian. I think she's very talented. Mm-hmm. I think she seems very nice. And I think her accent is hilarious. She's Boston strong. And so I just like Zach Bryant. Bryant doesn't matter. Because he didn't like Grace O'Malley. And that is where I draw my line. That's where I draw my line.
I need Grace to do her own podcast. Like, I would listen to that.
Literally, Brianna
people have been calling for it for weeks.
Wants to do a separate podcast, and I was like, end your podcast together, and Grace
I don't think she actually wanted to do her own. Grace was an issue between her and Zach Bryan because Zach once yelled at Grace, and that has its own lore, but it seems
Grace
like Zach was the wedge.
She's like, yo, this dude sucks. And Brie, who's in love, was probably like, no, he's love of my life.
Willing to make excuses. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
No judgment, because when you're in a traumatizing, abusive relationship, like, I don't understand it. I don't. So, like, I can't judge you for it.
I was in one, and my friend straight up said, I told him to break up with you or else I would expose him for the piece of shit he is. And I was not mad at her for a second. I went, you know what? You're right. Because I've been that fucking friend. I've been the Grace O'Malley. Yeah. And I fought tooth and nail for my friend. I beat up a dude in high school because I rode so tough for my friend. Pulled him by the collar, out her house, pushed him to the ground, punched him in the face, and yelled, what are you doing, you fucking psycho?
Alicia,
he was trying to fight. This is what happened. Let me tell you, this is a good story. So my best friend in high school started dating this guy. It was probably like we were 14, so dating is very loose. But they got very serious very quick, especially for like 14-year-olds. And he didn't like me because I was the only other person hanging out with her. So he would get mad when she would hang out with me and not him. And then he would, in public, like, be really mean to me. Like, he always would call me fat or ugly, but he also started being like, why do you want to hang out with my girlfriend all the time? Because you're a lesbian? And I'd be like, bro, first of all, I played basketball. So if you think that hurts my feelings, I've been called that a million times.
Yeah.
But second, I was like, that's my best friend. That's who I'm hanging out with. And he'd be like, you should just find your own boyfriend. You're a lesbian, whatever. He was so mean. And they broke up all the time. And then it would be like, he would say he's going to kill himself. And then she would go back to him. Now, at 14, we're dealing with this shit.
My God.
I would like to say now as an adult, I can recognize something was wrong with him. He has since been diagnosed with bipolar. But at 14, when he wasn't diagnosed, I was like, this dude's a fucking psychopath. Anyway.
Well, yeah, because you're not only watching your friend deal with it, but you're dealing with the repercussions too at a young age. Like, you are not fit to like deal with this.
No, fuck that. But my friend was so like, I just have to be, can you just be nice to him? And I'd be like, no. So it strained our friendship a lot. And I always was like, one day he's gonna fuck you up. Don't call me because fuck him. I
can't deal with this anymore.
He's the worst. Mm-hmm. And then there was one night I got a call from her on my house phone. To really
throwing it back
because I'm 14 and she's sobbing and she's like, can you please come over? He's trying to fight my dad. So my friend had really bad concussions.
14?
Yeah. It was like a scene. You couldn't write it. My friend would get really bad concussions. So she would go black for a few days of just like laying in a dark room and sleeping.
Jesus.
And like, yeah, she's had more concussions than like most professional athletes get in their whole life.
All right,
she's being steady.
That
That's
later.
A side note. Anyway, so she was not answering her phone when he called because she was on concussion watch, and he was so mad. He like went over to the house and started like trying to see her, and her parents were like, no. And he like busted into the house.
My God.
Her dad was blocking the stairwell. He's not going to fight a 14-year-old, but is trying to be like, you can't go see our daughter. And like, my friend's crying. And so I literally go, Mom, can you drive me over to her house? Because I can't drive myself.
Well, and you can fight a 14-year-old.
Well, I was like, fuck this. I was so sick of his shit. And my mom also knew the situation because I would vent to her about how stupid this dude was. And she knew his mom. So while we're driving, she called his mom and was like, hey, you might want to like come get your son.
Child.
She was like very sympathetic. She's like, I'm sure you don't know this is happening, but like,
hey, wanted to loop you in here.
Oh my God. My mom pulled in that driveway and she says she has never seen me like this, but this is what happens. I stormed out of that car. I didn't even run. I power walked. Like, picture a transformer right up into this house,
moving
grabbed
with
him by the shirt, pulled him behind me, pushed him out the door. He tripped over. I punched his face and went, what the fuck is wrong with you, you psycho? And he stood up and he's like, the fuck out of my way, I'll hit you. And I go, fucking do it. I was like, do it. Do it right now. And my mom was like, hey, your mom's on her way. I was like, they had locked the door then. And so we're now on this lawn. And I'm like, you're a fucking crazy person. And he's like, I'm just trying to see the love of my life. And I was like, you're 14. And so we're arguing. And then luckily his mom pulled up with his 3 older brothers and they grabbed him and threw him in the car. And the mom was so cute and so like apologetic.
Thank God she had older brothers that could like handle him too.
His mom was like, I didn't even know he left the house. Like, I'm so sorry. And my mom was like, no.
I feel bad for people's parents sometimes. I'm like, it's not always their fault. Like some parents raise terrible kids, but
my mom, who's an educator, was like, I really think you should get him just like get him evaluated. Yeah. It'll be really helpful just because he's obviously going through something. And I was like, I'm livid. Yeah. I'm like, Mom, get in the car.
We're done here.
My mom was like, dude. And I was like, no, honestly, this guy pisses me off so much. I was begging him to hit me. And guess what?
God.
They got back together after that. Guess what? And I went, never again. Don't call me again.
Wait, so have you ever talked to that girl again?
We stayed friends throughout high school.
Just like not as close, maybe?
They eventually broke up and she dated a new guy right away. And I was like, do you want to take a beat? Which she didn't like. This guy was also like a little possessively weird. Less, but still very like...
Not great.
If I was coming over, she wouldn't tell me he was also there. And then I'm like with 3 of them. And I would tell her stuff. And then she would tell him. And he would in turn tell all of his friends. And I'd be like, you can't tell him stuff. And she would always say, well, that's going to be my future husband. And I
no.
Okay. And then full circle. After senior year of high school, that summer, I worked at a concession stand, and the psycho kid did too. I feel bad calling him that now and I hadn't really talked to him.
Did he get help?
He came up to me like the first day we worked together, and he was like, "Hey, I want to genuinely apologize for everything I ever did, everything I ever said." He said, "I have been diagnosed. I am bipolar. I'm on medication." And he goes, "Honestly, I can't promise I'm going to be perfect, but like I'm really working on it." And I said, "You know what? I love that. We can be cool at work. We can be cool outside of this. We shouldn't be
That's
friends."
all I need to know is that like you were working on yourself.
And then my friend got mad that I was cool with him.
Oh,
even though
my God.
I was like, you dated him after everything.
I don't think people listen. I have a hard time personally living in the gray area on my own actions. Like I'm either 100% one way or 100% the other. But there is a need to just be like, neutral with people, especially in like a work setting, even if it's just a like high school job.
Yeah,
like I have to live like this
ignore him as we're slinging pizzas.
Like we're not sitting here gossiping and having sleepovers. Like I'm slinging pizzas with this dude.
The lunch rush only lasts an hour, and then we have to sit around for 4 more. You think I'm just not gonna yap? You're dreaming.
And it's not like you're yapping about her.
No, we talked about literally anything else.
Correct.
But in the end, she did end up marrying that second guy. So congrats, you were right. That is your future husband. I'm glad he knows all my high school secrets.
Damn, that was a great story time, Alicia.
But now I really don't care either way if she like if I run into her, I'm always just like, hey, but she will not talk to me. She will not look at me. She will leave early if I walk into a place. Yeah, she hates me. I don't know why. I even requested to follow her on Instagram just to see what would happen. And she never even blocked it. It's still sitting and pending, I think. I haven't checked in a few years, but
that's wild.
And I know she still talks shit about me because our mutual friends tell me that she still hates me.
That's insane.
That's fine. You know what? Hold your grudge. It does more to you than me.
You know what some of that story reminded me of?
Tell me.
Brittany Cartwright.
That was crazy, wasn't it? Did you expect the podcast to take that turn?
No, I really enjoyed that story time. And I listened to Brittany on the Hot Mic episode this week.
Oh my God. Blech.
And I've never listened to that podcast a day in my life, but I am itching for the Valley season 2, especially after that episode, because Brittany said it's like, what happens is insane. Like she rated, let me get these numbers correct. I literally wrote it down. Wait,
while we're waiting for Meredith.
Oh, here it is.
Okay, there you go.
Brittany said that like Jack's cheating on her was a level 2 on craziness in her life, and she rates this summer an 8. Yeah.
Rotten Hale was a level 2. What does it compare? She didn't compare it to Scandival. That'd be really good. Ah, damn it.
She's just saying like how she felt in those moments. She would rate that a 2, but also I think just perspective and like getting away from that situation helps. But
you know what?
Like he was rage texting her from rehab.
You know what I hope we do get is little Kristen versus Jax.
Oh, I bet we will.
Oh, that's the ultimate. That's my girly.
I can't wait.
Did you see Britt also is going to open up a bar?
Yes, it's with the same people that has Jax's bar. They already have a location up and running. Like Jax's bar was already a bar. They just like redesigned it.
Yeah, so they both have competing bars now. So that's
I love.
Fun.
I want everything. I want everything for her because if I thought Jax was a shitty person, I can't imagine being married and having to parent with that man.
Oh, so we told her not
to. I know.
It's like the consequences of your actions, you know? Like we told you not to.
Yeah, but like some of it you cannot prepare for, I don't think.
I know. I'm not trying to blame her. Because like if one person said, don't marry Jax, fine. But we all did. But also all the people telling her maybe don't marry Jax were also at her wedding. But I'm just going to say, maybe if the majority of a reality TV fandom tells you, no, don't do that, you shouldn't do that thing.
Also, reality TV is not 100% of your real life. So, like, I would assume that they do play up things and things are edited to make it more dramatic to us. But it sounds like this is how he's always been, and that's the concerning part.
Yes.
One thing she did say is like 100% of her experience up until this summer in LA was with Jax. And I think that's what was hard, is like your story you just said of your friend, like she has life. She had a life and her family and things to ground her. Like Brittany was so far away from her family, and that really played against her.
She had like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. And like if every person you know is tied to him too, that makes it a little harder to like break up. If your livelihood, where you're living, all of your friends are tied to this man.
Oh, I guess. He just drives me nuts. I never knew why anyone would date him after what we saw in season 2 specifically.
I know.
Jesus. While we're on Vanderpump, there's no reason yet, but Lala's assistant quit.
Dude,
Lala's assistant Jessica on the podcast quit, just so people know, because some people aren't aware. She quit, and Lala made it a big, like, oh, we're gonna miss her. I love her so much. She's my best friend. But the woman's name is Jess, and she didn't stick around for like a goodbye or anything. And so people are like, what happened? That she just left. Like your best friend just quits and doesn't even say goodbye on your podcast.
I know. I wonder if Lala thought she could just like ride off into the sunset, because it seems like they're still like friendly. It doesn't feel like there's like a reason. I think it's money. Like you don't have the Vanderpump dollars coming in. So how can you afford to have an assistant when you're like funding your entire family's lifestyle? Let's be honest. Like her mom and her brother, I think, live with her.
Are they going to be on the Valley? Do we know?
Lala, Brock, and Sheena are on it. I wonder if they're like friend of level where you do get paid a little bit, but they're not full-time cast members, no.
And I bet no one's buying Give 'em Lala or whatever that bullshit is, because we don't like you that much.
She's doing a lot with Amazon, but like I don't understand how much Amazon pays, because there's a lot of creators that do it.
Paige DeSorbo is doing a lot of stuff with Amazon, but she also has her show still, and she's also doing this and that and left and right. And she's, you know, also trying to make some, like, Amazon can't just fund your life. Paige DeSorbo has 12 other things going on.
Yeah.
She's modeling. She has a sponsorship with Poppy. She's doing a lot of shit.
I know.
Lala's sitting on her butt complaining.
But this is why you don't... podcast. Like, when a group is already fractured, you don't fracture it even more.
Yeah. You picked the wrong side of history. How does that feel? I wouldn't know. Really quick also. So I keep seeing, because Beverly Hills has had a lot of separations and divorces. We got Kyle and Mauricio and Dorit and PK. And people are like, what about Mauricio and Dorit though? Are they gonna hook up? Because they've always had a little something.
I mean, we have crossovers happening over on OC, so like why not bring it to Beverly Hills?
Ooh, I hope hot ass Mauricio and Dorit get a little steam.
I'm not joking. It would actually make me weirdly like Dorit.
No, I would be so about it.
I'm kind of into it.
I don't know what it is, but someone was like, what if? And I was like, say less. Wait, I want that so bad.
This is where I need this to happen, actually.
No, I would love it.
I have a question for you about Housewives, actually.
Go.
I saw it on TikTok, and I literally wrote the account down because I want to try and give people credit more. But at Couchwives,
nice,
was asking if you had she was saying, I think her brother's girlfriend showed the brother one episode of Real Housewives just to explain, like to try and explain what the show is.
Episode of... No, go on. I don't know what I'm talking
about. And so this creator was saying, like, if you had to explain Housewives through just one episode, which one would you pick?
One episode?
Yeah. I wrote some down to just, like, while you're thinking on it, some things that came to my mind was, like, the New Jersey table flip is really iconic, and I feel like explains arguments at tables, because there's always arguments at dinner tables.
That's the one that immediately came to my mind. I was just trying to sift through if there was a better
one. This is just an iconic one for me that I just think everybody should see this moment is Vicky on Orange County with the van.
The family van.
Yeah. Or even Beverly Hills in Amsterdam.
You should just show them moments. I'd really want to explain the complex dynamic of adult female friendships, while also showing the drama of it, but also showing like the richness and out of touch of it. And though Jersey is so good, and I think that one does a really good job, I don't know if I would get the full. I mean, you kind of have the out of touch with it.
Jersey
and the
really, I feel
family
like, is
dynamic.
The show or the franchise that I think would explain my love of Housewives the most.
I disagree. I think Beverly Hills for me
Old
would
Beverly
be
Hills, though, not where it's at now.
fucking play it through the whole thing. Watch all 13
Okay,
seasons.
fine. If you had to pick, you would pick Beverly Hills if you had to pick one franchise.
To explain Housewives, yeah.
To be like, sit down, this is what we're watching.
Yeah, it just shows the wealth, the complex dynamic of family and friends. It shows the out of touchness. It's so unrelatable. It's funny. Yeah, I think I would go Beverly. But I saw a different question posed where it was like, if you had to give someone a recommendation for one first season of Housewives to get them hooked, which first season would you pick? And I went immediately Jersey, but everyone said Beverly Hills. Everyone. And I went, no, I would pick Jersey.
First season of Beverly Hills, I don't think was like.
I mean, it was you stole my goddamn house.
And like there was the dinner party from hell where that like lady with the cigarette
he will
thingy,
never fully satisfy you.
That is really funny, but I just don't think that season is one of my favorites of Beverly Hills.
But isn't that the season of if you can't be my friend, please don't be my enemy? I think we get Taylor Armstrong in there too. But Jersey was just so wild with the table and the family and fucking Danielle and the kids. Oh, the kids were so involved. The kids were at the next table. That's the craziest part. So I don't know.
It's wild to see, like, none of the newer franchises get the essence of what the first season really was like, except for those first five.
And everyone's scared of that, and
yeah, it just is different. It was before they really had money from the show.
Yeah, but they still weirdly had money because they were owning like restaurants or like
construction companies. They all had, they were all like mid-tier successful on their own and wanted to brag about it and be special still. They weren't millionaires by any means, but they wanted to feel special about themselves. So they were willing to talk and expose their lives. Oh my God. The Housewives is just an insane concept. And I'm so happy Bravo thought of it.
I love it. What a genius.
Can I give you a rundown of what's happening in the Real Housewives shows that I'm watching? Because I know you're not watching, but I just need to say these things out loud because it is truly fucking insane.
Go for it.
Okay, we're going to start with Roni because I just watched that.
Okay.
And I love each of these ladies individually. I remember after watching the first season, I told you about it, like how incredible some of the cast was. Alicia, this season is so bad and it's so disturbing. Yeah, because like you just mentioned it, that they're unwilling. They're so scared to be canceled, but it's not even just that, Alicia. They're not even like being guarded or like watching what they're saying. They're like self-producing to like a really odd degree. And everything they're like fighting about is stuff that's like not on camera, or they're fighting that like they're talking about each other. It's so uncomfortable of like what's happening, because each character on their own, I like each person, but it is so odd to watch what's happening. And the episode this week, I'm sure you saw all over social, was all about a fake pregnancy rumor. And what's so annoying is that Bravo's even leaning into this, and they, in the like preview for the entire season, like led the entire audience to believe that there was this pregnancy announcement. And then you find out that this entire episode that this happens in, there's a to be continued, so let's be honest, it'll happen next week too, was all just a prank.
That sucks.
Like, and this is the second prank that's been pulled this season. there's nothing else happening except for one person being mad that people are being talked about. And it's like, you're on a reality TV show.
Yeah, I've just heard it's bad. I heard these women are not it. I see a lot of sometimes I still think of you when it's the old Roni cast.
Which that makes me sad on its own right, because that cast was like really bad, like bad for other reasons. Like they were obviously good TV, but they were not good people, or like a chunk of them. And so it's like, I don't want us to want that back. Like, why can't we just like be okay with failing? Like, I think you should be scared about like saying something like really fucked up. So I get trying to be guarded with like the language you use and like that.
Well,
but
there
like,
are housewives that say really fucked up shit, but like it's not out of hate or anything. I think sometimes the conversation should be had.
yeah.
And I think there's a healthy way to go about that. But I also think there's housewives that are good TV, but also just like, for the most part, haven't said anything that offensive. Like, you can make it work.
My comparison, I don't know if you've watched the recent Kardashians, but it
No,
feels...
I hate them. I will not support.
Feels like the recent version of Kardashians on Hulu, where right now Kardashians is literally just one big advertisement for all of their brands, and they don't really talk about anything else or show you anything else in their lives. They like will sprinkle in a little bit of other stuff, but that's how this feels. They really only talk about their brands, and it just all feels super calculated and planned and coordinated and branded, and it's just always just so weird.
And I think the thing I like about Housewives is when fucked up shit is said, I like that Andy at the reunion will call it out. Like, remember when Teresa's husband, Joe Giudice, said something about, like, against gay people, or was like, ew, he's gay? And then he asked Teresa about it, and she had to answer to be like, no, he doesn't hate gay people. And Andy was like, that's kind of how he said it. And even if nothing gets confirmed, it's still called out in a way.
Well, it's like a natural discussion, because there are people in this world that are going to say comments about gay people.
I think that's it, is like, let's have the discussion. And also, some of them are shitty beyond belief. Like, Vicky is a shitty ass person. And like, who's the other one? I can't. Ramona, fucking terrible. But like, okay, Luann, sure, I'm sure she has said some super fucked up shit. But at the end of the day, I love Luann, you know, like, she's great. Same thing, like, would I ever want to be near Teresa? No. Do I think she has said so many and done so many fucked up things? Yeah. Do I hate her? Not necessarily.
But I hate when she talks about that's Melissa. Who she is. And not like, I mean, there's the whole like Teresa versus Melissa thing, which that's not what I'm trying to spark right now. But it's truly that, like, I believe Teresa believes that Melissa is a terrible person and Melissa is the problem.
I'm getting the full you. That's what I want. I want it to be authentically you.
Yeah. Like these girls are not that, and it's so disturbing because in their confessionals, like, you can kind of see a small wall go down because they're not trying to be calculated with each person. They are obviously giving like the Paige Sorbo, you know, confessional version, but you can see their personalities shine through a lot more.
Yeah, I think that's like really truly it. Like, even Yolanda Hadid comes to mind, where like, was she a shitty ass person and mother? Yeah. But we fully saw her tell her daughter to eat an almond when Gigi was about to pass out, which is A, hilarious, but B, it sparked a debate amongst people. And that's what housewives should fucking do. And I shouldn't say this. I was going to be like, is Yolanda in charge of like the country? No, because we don't trust her, but who knows? She could be. That's a separate conversation. But like, I'm not asking these women to run for Congress or do any. I just want them to be themselves and let me watch it.
Yes. And I'm not saying you have to go so far to be in like doing cancelable things.
Yeah,
but
don't
like,
be controversial. You don't have to say racist shit.
No, be okay to like fuck up with your friends though.
Like, I think, honestly, let's talk about good TV. Lindsay Hubbard, Paige DeSorbo. They've never said anything wildly shitty that we've had to be, like, cancel them. Absolutely
like, culturally very inappropriate or, like...
homophobic, racist.
Yeah. It's like they're just shitty friends to each other sometimes, and that is, like, real life.
Yeah, that's fine.
We love that.
Like, Lindsay has moments that we're like, God, but like even Sheena has never done anything offensive. She's hilarious TV, and sure, we get annoyed with her, but like, what's the alternative? She's not her true self, and then we get this fake ass person
so
on
true.
our
Like
TV.
Sheena is full.
I think this past year I have made you kind of a Sheena fan.
I don't think I will ever be cool with who Sheena is, but I'm okay with Sheena being who she is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I think Lala doesn't show us her full self most of the time. And imagine a whole cast of that.
That's what it is. But like, you know how we see like glimmers of Lala where we're like, love that. Like, she's such a tough bitch. She's such a great mom. Like, it's so hard because I can see the potential. But then you're this like super calculated and manipulative. It's weird. And I'm upset because there's this hope I have that like Roni can survive until Paige and Lindsay are ready to be on it. But I just feel like this current cast is ruining my hope.
Yeah, no, that sucks.
Okay, I have one other with Real Housewives of Orange County. And for everybody listening, this is not up to date with this week's episode, but I did release already my Shannon timeline by the time this has released. So go watch that on TikTok. But so Real Housewives of Orange County, incredible season, just really interesting. Because remember when I was telling you Jesus Jugs is now dating Shannon's ex? Wonderful season. It was exactly what we were saying, like needs to be how Housewives needs to be, exactly what it gave. Like amazing. The finale came and it's like, whoa, this season's over. Like I want more. Like that's what every season needs to be. That's what
you should want. Yeah.
Yes. And so the reunion first part happened last week and just a decent reunion on everything except for this one cast member. Her name's Katie. She's a new housewife this season. She is Asian. I forget what her descent is, she's Korean, I believe, South Korean. Because she is gonna go find her birth mom. She was adopted. Ooh. But she's kind of a she has a past with like an old marriage and kids, and it's just like a complicated past. And Orange County is driving me nuts because they're bringing stuff in like that happened not during the season or off camera. The only good thing about them is they explain it or they bring receipts to help like connect the dots for you because not everything's happening off cam or on camera. But this pissed me off. In part one of the reunion, Heather and Emily were talking about an instance that happened with Katie 10 years ago when she lived in Georgia and had an issue with a like erratic driver, and a police report was made. Like the police came and Katie tells her side of the story, and Heather, a white woman, is trying to tell Katie's story. And just because she like dug up an old police report, and it's like, you have no clue what happened 10 years ago with Katie. And then Emily, who is a lawyer, was like, Katie was like, the police lied. And Emily was like, oh, police lie? And it's like, yeah, no, we actually all know that police lie. And Emily works with the Innocence Project. And it's like, you especially should know that police lie. Like, are you kidding me? So Katie tells her whole story. And during it, they're like, oh, well, didn't you lose custody of your kids? And Katie has to say, like, I was in a facility where I couldn't have my kids. Basically alluding, because she couldn't say where she was, that she was in a domestic violence shelter. And they're all like shaming her for this situation that happened. She like escaped an abusive ex and like they won't let her speak. It was the most absurd thing I've ever seen in a reunion, Alicia, for something that never happened on the actual season or like in the show.
Oh, I hope the public is ripping them to shreds.
Yes, that is the only good thing. And I'm like, I am seated waiting for like them to make statements because I'm like so disappointed.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I can't imagine going through something so tragic 10 years ago and then you're like using it against me when it has nothing to do with what's going on.
But also to be one of the few women of color on Bravo, but also this franchise in particular that is known for being terrible and toxic and racist, to then be attacked and basically ganged up on for something that happened 10 years ago and then shamed for being in a domestic violence situation.
They did walk it back once that got brought up, or not walk it back, but they like got pretty quiet once the kids got like, once she was explaining, because she basically, the whole like driving situation with an erratic driver and the whole initial police situation, that got sent to her ex-husband's house because she was in a domestic violence shelter. And so once that part of the story got brought in, they definitely got more quiet, but still,
if you don't know the full story, why are you calling it out on TV and shaming someone for it?
Acting like you know, as if you were there.
Now you look dumb.
I get when you're ready to go to bat for shit that you were at or is actually in between you two, but
you're ready for it, yeah, but
you had no involvement
were
in
either of them
situation.
in the car?
No.
All right. Well, so what's happening?
And this will actually blow your mind. The whole reason this was brought up is because Miss Heather Dubrow is mad that Katie said that Heather staged paparazzi photos. That's why this was brought up. I was like, you lie all the time. She did. I wholeheartedly believe Heather called the paparazzi, and it's not that big of a deal.
If I look hot, I'm calling the paparazzi too.
I don't understand why that's a huge insult. Weird. I don't find it weird when people call the paparazzi.
I never understand it. Well, they're like, you call the paparazzi. If you call it on someone else, that's kind of rude. But if I call it on myself, I'm looking hot. I just got my hair done. My makeup's fly. Look at my outfit. Free pictures? Yeah. This is my location. I'm going to walk out at exactly this time.
It was wild. Like I said, I haven't seen a response to this from Heather and Emily, which is, I'm wondering if they're waiting for the entire reunion to be over. So I'll update you in a week or two, but
I'm just going to say it though. Normalize your friends taking pictures of you as paparazzi.
Well, this was to help with rumors that Terry was cheating on Heather, and so that they were seen like coupled up hanging out at Disney World or Disneyland.
There you go. But okay, when my sister took our pictures for our podcast, that was kind of we called her and said, "Can you take these pictures?" That's embarrassing if we're calling paparazzi on herself.
1000%. We were standing outside my apartment. Yep. And people would walk by and we were like, hello.
But how embarrassing is it when you're on vacation? You're like, Mom, take all these pictures of me.
I know.
You're calling the paparazzi on yourself all the time.
That is so true, Alicia. And everybody's doing it.
That's rude. But
everyone is doing it.
Yeah, I don't think that's normalize calling the paparazzi on yourself.
1000%. But that's what's going on. And I'm not watching any other franchises.
Okay.
But I'm kind of disappointed in Real Housewives world. I don't know how when I start this statement, I don't mean this against Shannon, but how was the woman who got a DUI on Real Housewives of Orange County the least problematic person?
Listen, fuck the Housewives. No, I love them. Oh, it's rough. Damn.
I know.
Damn. Thank you for your watching.
No problem. That was a lot. I've really been in deep on Housewives.
I'm watching I'm watching some Potomac, which is really nice.
Welcome back.
I did watch. Do you ever watch Outer Banks still?
Yes, I do. And to be honest, I saw it on your list, just the name of it, and I said I will catch up.
I have a disease where if I start a show, I kind of have to finish it at some point.
Absolutely.
Are you caught up?
I finished it.
Okay, great. So I want to start with, I thought Outer Banks was a great show, season 1.
Agreed. I'm so happy we're already on the same page here.
It was so good. The whole I think the part of Outer Banks that really worked was the core 4. And this is a common thing in all teen dramas is you need a core 4. But we're going to take the long way to get there. You need a core 4 to get there. Mm-hmm. Think of it all. The OC had a core 4. Gossip Girl had a core 4. True. Even One Tree Hill kind of had a core 4 because, I would say usually one of the girls was out of the storyline. So you had a core 4 happening.
True. That's true.
There's always Vampire Diaries, maybe not so much a core 4, but you got a core 3 at least.
Well, there's always the original group, whether it's 4 or 5 people, you have your core set who it's about.
The core 4. And so what really worked was they were all pogues and they were just sun kid. And that was the essence of the show. Yeah. And then it's these kids go on a treasure hunt. And that was like fun to watch because they're also like falling in love, and we meet the girl from like the good side of the island. And it got a little crazy once like the dad started like trying to also get the treasure, but we progressed because it was a fun treasure hunt. Right.
And it was still, obviously, shows are like kind of unbelievable. Like, this shit's not going to happen.
It was
but it was
little
still
believable
in the realm of possibility.
Until they take that small ass boat at the end of season 1 and drive it into a hurricane.
But you know what? Still somewhat believed it.
Fine.
Still in the realm of possibilities.
I was excited for season 2. So then we get a little crazier because now we think they're dead. The Pogues are mourning. But we still have this essence of friendship. We still have this, like, it's us against the world. We're the Pogues kind of thing.
And they're, like, in high school as the age demographic. So it's still believable that they're in high school, like, hanging out over a summer.
And it's very fun. But then you have to add in the essence of, okay, now we have this gold we have to steal, but also there's a cross. But like, what happened to the gold? Did we fucking get that? And then Sarah got shot. And then her and John P also get married. And then is Key with See, I was in for the love triangle. Is Key with Pope or JJ? I was a JJ girl. I say that at season 2. Anyway. So then there's that whole thing. And it got like a little crazier once you got the cross in. But we kept forward, and then we end up on the ship, and then we end up on an island. And we're okay, fine.
That is when we start to go downhill.
Fine. But then we open up season 3, and we're on an island, and it's back where the Pogues were fishing and like whatever. And then like
I know, but an island.
You know what? Fine. But then we get to Bermuda, and then there's like a new treasure hunt. And I'm like, but did we ever get the cross? Can they lay it out? Like, what have these people received? And then season 3 gets crazy because then you have John B's dad coming back from the dead.
That was fucking insane.
At some point, we end up in South America. He gets shipped off, which, can I say, I'm on Key's parents' side all the time. All the
Season
time.
1, I wasn't, because they were just the normal, like, oh, my parents won't let me. Because they're in high school. He's
the only one with parents. So, she's also rich. If she was smart, she could have, like, somehow gotten her whole clan of friends to live in her parents' house and, like, gone to school. But no. By season 3, her parents have already thought she's died, like, twice.
I know.
Like, please don't leave with, like, just spend a day with us. And she's like,
if you don't understand traumatizing, it's like, stay with us or stop doing this to us. Because she pops in and out like no other.
We have to ship you off.
She's like an abusive dad that is like coming around every once in a while just to get your hopes up.
Yeah, her parents are like, can you stop stealing our credit cards and our car, maybe? And she's like, you don't understand.
Have dinner with us once?
These are my friends. And you're like, just eat your steak and shut the fuck up. But whatever. She's in love with JJ now, which I was very for. I was like, it's cute. But
I was fine with it. I was fine with it.
But then we go to South America with our dads, and one dad is like, he gets shot saving his daughter. I was like, and what treasure were we even finding in the bottom of a mountain?
Hold on. He gets shot saving his daughter even though he's hated her and worked against her the entire series.
I actually low-key really loved the complexity of Mr. Cameron. And Rafe is one of my all-time favorite characters. I think he's so complex.
Rafe just drives me nuts as a person, though.
I think he is so funny. Him and that dude Barry, the two of them.
Is that the drug dealer guy? Yes.
They are dynamic duo.
Yeah.
I do think Rafe is very funny. I think the actor really understands his character. I think he's a really good actor.
To a T, which is why Rafe drives me nuts.
I think he's so funny. Like when he mumbles to himself, I'm like, he's losing.
I know so many versions like Rafe in real life, not to the extreme of like killing a shit.
He's not killing his sister, or...
But yeah, I've dealt with enough Rafes in my life.
Yeah. But also, so while we're just on the topic of the previous 3 seasons, can we acknowledge that these kids, though, like, they cause a lot of fucking ruckus in this town, and the police are just trying to be like, can you stop?
To be honest,
I understand.
The police are pretty lenient with them.
No, for real. And I understand we had the whole, like, John B. got arrested wrongfully and, like, thank God they cleared. I get the police are not always your friend, but Shoop seems to just be trying. They steal a police car and they're still, like, not arrested.
Listen, as the police, I understand you make wrong arrests because, like, you're just going off of the information you have. How were they supposed to know?
The highest person in the Outer Banks.
Like, we are just doing our best here. Our fellow cop got shot and we're trying to investigate it, but you guys are ditching out before we can even do an investigation.
You won't talk to us, so we have to take everyone else's word for it. You then steal, run away, destroy property, take police equipment, hit us, like, and you're still not in jail. But fine. I'm not a friend to the police, but I am on this show because they seem
like... But I do give the police a little bit more grace in this show.
They're trying to solve a murder while also dealing with these fucking idiot kids.
Who are in high school. Again, can you imagine if your local high schoolers were causing this much
fucking just graffiti the wall like a normal high schooler.
Yeah, like just
be done.
The only illegal things you should be doing is like trying to steal some beer. Also, these kids drink every time that they are at their homes.
Like, no wonder you're being arrested. Like, it's so crazy to me. Anyway, so we end season 3. They found the treasure and now they're rich. And it's like, oh no. But then a guy walks up and goes, hey, I have a new treasure hunt for you. Stop giving these kids. I just want to see them try to run a business together and maybe hug once in a while. I don't even care if they kiss at this point. Just have them stay in the Outer Banks. But no, what do we do in season 4? We start out that way. We buy a house, like, but we spend all our money and then we try to do business, which was so infuriating to begin with.
This season annoyed me the most because of the like unrealistic bullshit.
Yeah, like this dingy ass house that JJ used
gets in a bidding war for.
For that, just give him the house. JJ
I don't
also
believe he is
nuts.
Me too. Because I don't believe. Listen, he is a very prideful kid, like in the show, but nobody is that prideful that they are willing to spend their entire gold fortune on this house.
On your dinky ass house. You could probably get John B's house for free.
That's the thing. I don't believe that you loved this house so much. Your dad was like an alcoholic and abusive, I think. Like, there's no way you had that many good memories. Like, the plot holes were huge this season.
So whatever, you buy this house. And then at first I was like, this is fun. They're gonna like have a business. And we'll talk about the drama of the actors, I think, after. Mm-hmm. But JJ and Kiara, with strangers, you would have never thought they ever fell in love 5 minutes ago.
I agree. And like, I'm happy you just actually walked through seasons 1 through 3 because it made me remember that they actually like did fall in love, but they had no chemistry. They felt so weird. It felt so forced.
Can we talk about season 1 and 2? They had chemistry off the season 1, I was like, someone put them together. Season 2, I was sitting there and I was like, if they don't go on a fucking surf trip, I'm going to kill myself. And then we get to season 3 and I'm like,
they felt like siblings.
Season 3 was like fine.
Oh, sorry, 4.
Season 3, I was like, okay, he loves her. I still was like, I didn't believe JJ really loved her. I think he was just too caught up in his own. This season, they don't even like each other. They didn't go near each other. They had one moment where they like almost self-imploded from coming up from the water, from scuba diving too fast. But other than that,
it was so weird to see them together in any scenes that they did have, or like fighting for each other. Like Keith fighting for him all season. I was like, you're not. It's not making sense. He did not
care about her. No, he did not care about her. And so then they're doing this business, but they also have to go on a treasure hunt for this new character that dies a few episodes later.
But is also like JJ's grandpa.
I literally no idea. It's like a ghost story, but also we need a medallion, so we scuba dive. And then there's also these like South African men trying to find the exact same thing at the exact same time.
Alicia, this treasure had way too many, but this and that, to like keep track of. It didn't need to be this crazy.
There's a map. There's an amulet. The amulet leads to a key. Like, I think their stupid ass shit is hilarious, right? When they were like, we're gonna scuba dive at night, I was like, that's funny. You have two people like looking.
I love when they pull that shit because they're like, we can't get caught, so we have to do it at night. And it's like, you guys are psychotic.
The minute there's a shooting war amongst the other boat, I was like, what? You had enough issues without that. You didn't have to write in these other like pirates looking for the treasure. It's so weird.
I agree. Well, it's like you either needed those pirates or you needed the whole family situation of JJ's like biological family drama. You couldn't have both.
It gets worse. So then, I don't even know. Like, the house is then going to be rezoned.
Well,
other block.
Because JJ took the last of their gold that was just sitting in a jar and gambled it away. So then they lost the money for their taxes. And immediately after not paying their taxes 5 minutes after buying the house, which is actually due like a year and a half later, now they can like lose their home, but it's also going to be rezoned. And it's like they have to do petty little meetings in town.
So now we're being rezoned because this woman that's working with Rafe.
Oh my God.
And Topper somehow is in it. Rezoning. It was his idea to rezone. You're telling me this 17-year-old was like, Grandpa, we should rezone the land.
We're in high school.
Okay. Rafe is older. Rafe is because he's crazy. And Rafe is also dating a
I actually ship them.
Woman. I ship them. I was just about to say.
She was my favorite character. Their relationship and those two characters are the only things that I actually 100% enjoyed every aspect that they were involved in.
Whenever he looked at her and was like, I love you, baby, I fell in love with Rafe a little bit more. I was like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I was so team.
When he was like, move into the house, like this is a promise ring, I was like, my bags are packed.
Move in. When he said goodbye and he's like, I'll be back in a few. Oh my God. I was like, he's going off to war. I love him.
And when he found out and he was hurt, I was like, I'm so sorry.
Well, okay, so basically, there's like a whole rezoning thing. To which then JJ goes, you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to riot
Alicia?
solo. I'm going to riot this town solo.
Why did they need to add that? Like, what did that do?
So JJ, I think is crazier than Rafe. Because he threw so his dad like signed some papers. I don't even know. He threw the chair first and then ran away, found a baseball bat and was like, I'm going to fucking destroy downtown Charleston. And he did.
Definitely not Charleston, but keep going.
Police could not be, they're trying.
Alicia, this town is so fucking small and they can't find this kid.
Yeah. You're telling me he wasn't even running.
He broke into every storefront and then goes to that realtor place and you couldn't get him. That's the thing. Yeah. That's what's pissed me off this entire show, but especially this episode. There were moments where I'm like, you simply don't have that much time.
But then I was like, arrest this kid. He committed a crime and all of his friends are like, don't do it, Shoop. He didn't mean it. He didn't mean it.
He legit solo destroyed this whole town. But hey, don't worry because some forks and a microwave will help give a distraction to get him out of there.
Then, this is even crazier. The police officer obviously is armed because he just saw this guy destroy a downtown. And I'm again saying, obviously he was a kid. But, like, JJ's kind of wild. We need a gun, maybe.
Okay, this wasn't just like, hey, I broke into a store and stole some things. I don't deserve a gun in my face. I destroyed an entire town and set multiple trash cans on fire and destroyed a transformer with electricity is shooting out everywhere.
And I'm still holding a bat and I refuse to come out peacefully. Yeah, get your gun, officer. And so he does. And then Pope tackles him and is surprised when he gets arrested.
That's my friend. I'm so sorry, Alicia. I will never tackle somebody who has a gun trying to get you after you've destroyed an entire town.
You looted a town. No, try again.
I have boundaries.
JJ, though, escapes because now the police are dealing with fucking Pope and there's all these pogues that are like Team JJ and I'm like, no, poke or kook, this fucking destroyed a whole downtown. We haven't even gotten to the part where the kooks run over.
You mean the real plot? I mean, like, this was a side plot that actually meant fucking nothing.
No, literally. Also, though, you know what part I did like while we're just jumping from spot to spot? When the kooks and the pogues go to the beach together. That was what I was looking for.
Yes.
That's what I wanted.
That is like actual
Run over the sea
natural
turtle.
chaos.
Mad. Yeah, this was crazy. So JJ's extra in trouble because he also threatened all the kooks because he said, I'll kill you all.
Which was
Kids-
like, that was stupid.
Whatever. Then he goes to the guy that sent him on a treasure hunt's house, who turns out to be his grandpa. And now this guy's his dad. But his dad basically
But he like won't admit it.
His dad wants the inheritance, I think.
Wait.
No one told me what.
But I don't get that because JJ wouldn't. Actually, I guess JJ would get it over him.
Yeah, because he was married to the daughter.
So it actually would go to.
So it would go straight, since the daughter is dead, it would go straight to JJ. It's like he killed off the other. I think this is never confirmed. This is
That's
me
the thing.
using my mind.
I didn't understand the whole thing. Like, I don't get why he killed his wife.
For the money? I literally don't know.
I actually spent a lot of time still confused about why the mom died.
So then they're kidnapped by the pirates, who I don't know what the pirates are doing here. There's also a British lady somehow entangled in all. I don't know. So then, I don't know. They rescue the Pogues rescue JJ. They've forgotten Pope's been arrested. Then still they're focusing on getting JJ back. The criminal. And then, I don't know, end up in Morocco? I don't even know how we get there.
Rafe decides to like save them and Shoop decides to give up the kids instead of arresting some of them.
JJ shoots at an officer. And then is surprised when
and
an
Shoop's
officer
like, hey, you
back.
know what? Totally understand. Actually, we will give you time to go to Morocco to actually leave the country and go try to get this treasure and get, what is his name? Great or something.
Gator? I don't know.
Whatever the dad's name is.
JJ's dad?
JJ's bio dad. It's like, hey, you're
Biological
so right.
dad.
You're basically the FBI and like Interpol, and like we're gonna let you go get a bigger criminal by both of you leaving the country.
All these people who never graduated high school with crazy ass Rafe. Yeah, so Rafe has somehow a giant ass ship to take him there.
He traded his luxury boat, which that actually made sense.
With Barry, my dude Barry's back. Someone give Barry more screen time.
Barry's like, hey, I'm just trying to fish. And he's like, hey, but you could be running charters.
Give me your boat. Beer. Yeah, Barry's a man of opportunity.
Barry traded up.
I get it. But then fucking poor Rafe is immediately jumped by the Pogues and trapped in a bathroom.
After
just got you out of this shit.
And he listened to you guys shit talk him for like 45 minutes. And he did nothing.
Oh my God, it drove me up a wall. And then when the ship starts sinking, because we're in the middle of an ocean, we're going over the Atlantic Ocean. If we learned anything from the Titanic, it's don't do it. But let's do it.
Alicia?
And it's a bunch of kids driving this big ass ship.
But they saw it coming, and I was like, why didn't we start turning left to try and avoid some of it?
No, what? No. Let's go. Why don't we get to the coast as soon as possible and just go up? Or down.
That's what I would think. But we don't have time, obviously.
I also don't know if they know about gas on this boat.
They did stop. They did stop, remember? And JJ was like, oh, we're going to go kill some people. And Pope was like, we're going fishing.
But how much gas do you have? You know?
That's another plot hole. But I did think about that the entire way.
I don't think the kids would know this. But what do I know?
No, but what's more obscene is, yes, they let Rafe out of his prison so he doesn't drown.
Yeah.
But in the same time, Sarah's like, hey, let me go check on my boyfriend, John B. And she gets fucking swept away in the ocean.
She's pregnant. I know we forgot to throw, which was the only part I cared about. I was like, start a life.
This is like mean and trigger warning. But to be honest, I would have believed it more had she lost the baby. You guys are going through such traumatic experiences, and you're telling me that baby's cooking fine in there after you haven't eaten for 4 days.
She's 17. She's got ovaries of a young woman. She could do it.
She literally hadn't eaten in 4 days, and they're like, here's an apple?
Crazy. So they start sinking this ship. they go over. No, even worse. Sarah goes to check on her boyfriend, gets swept away because she's outside because it's a cargo ship. Gets swept away by the sea. By the sea. I watch North Sea TikTok. There's no fucking way.
I watched Deadliest Catch. No, there is a way. If you've ever seen Deadliest Catch,
no, there's no way to survive what Sarah survived.
I thought you were like that wave didn't happen.
No,
I was like,
falling off for sure. For sure. There's no way Sarah. So she falls. God knows how tall this boat is with the wave. She immediately falls over, and JJ goes. He looks back at John B. He looks at what happened to Sarah, and he goes, "I got it." And John B's like, please don't. And JJ's like, he grabs his life raft.
Life ring.
Chucks it so close
say
to Sarah.
Raft. Don't even say raft because it was not a raft. It was one dinky little ring.
This little ring. He throws it accurately close to Sarah for being in a storm, then jumps in. And
so far away from Sarah.
This ship would have crushed Sarah.
Alicia.
She's in front of the ship.
And I had already seen spoilers that somebody died at the end that I was like, oh, it's Sarah. And then JJ goes too, and I was like,
it's JJ?
Both of them?
No, because then they all walk, because all of them have been yeeted from this boat somehow.
No. It crashed it ran aground once don't worry, it continued on and they got to shore and it crashes.
Jesus Christ. They all end up on the remaining people end up on this Morocco. It just so happens to be we've made it to our destination.
The Moroccan beach.
We've washed right up to the Moroccan desert. And we wait a few days because they sit by a fire for days and look for the two of them on the beach.
They don't have water. They don't have water. They don't have food. Like, how did you start this fire? You're still in the same clothes. I thought about how many days that they've worn that underwear, by the way. I know that's not concerning compared to everything else, but
the yeast infection you got is crazy.
And Sarah's baby is still surviving?
That's it. JJ and Sarah show up. We just happen to find each other
walking down the beach.
Moroccan desert. And what's his name? John B runs straight to Sarah, obviously. T doesn't even say hey to JJ. Couldn't care less that he lived. And yeah, her baby's good. I mean, she hasn't been officially checked up. We have no idea.
Very true. I don't think she's ever gone to a doctor.
We actually don't even know if she's pregnant.
She took 2 pregnancy tests in the looted pharmacy bathroom.
In the looted pharmacy bathroom that she stole.
Okay, come on. That is the most accurate thing in this entire season.
We walk the Moroccan desert to the exact town we're supposed to be in Morocco.
Yeah, because
these people who wrote this show have never traveled. It also never goes this smoothly.
Literally midday, sun is the highest it's going to be, and they decide this is the time to walk in the desert.
We're going to totally walk. Because why would we walk at night? That's crazy. It's dark. Because they don't have phones or anything either. So then they get to the exact town they're supposed to be at, and you're right, they can't find food, so they badly steal 1 apple for pregnant Sarah. Listen, pregnant or not, after 4 days with no food or water, I'm fucking dying, dude.
Dying!
And then they ditch Rafe, which is so rude, because Rafe's got money and a phone, which was extra funny that Rafe's I got it. And
where did Rafe get this money?
That was so... It was in his little satchel. If they had actually searched him before they tied him up, they probably
so true.
Found
like
it.
That's his sister too. Like I'm sure he would have been like, "Let me go buy you an apple."
But everyone's so mean to Rafe.
Everybody is so anti-Rafe.
And Rafe doesn't know Sarah's pregnant.
True. No, that's not true because they said it at the campfire on the Moroccan beach.
They weren't sitting with Rafe because I was on the lookout.
I think he heard because he looked at them and they were all hugging, and she looked him in his eye.
I don't know.
I think he heard
dude Rafe didn't know. Either way, they ditch Rafe, and Rafe immediately knows where he's supposed to go. He has enough money to buy whatever he needs. He calls his girlfriend and is like, "Can you
How does he know her number?" Is my question. This is modern
He's
day. We don't memorize cell phone numbers anymore.
Just saying. Are if you're in love.
That's true.
And he doesn't have to remember his parents' phone numbers because they're dead. So he replaced it with his girlfriend's phone number.
Damn! Actually, maybe he just called his home phone. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Rafe still has a home phone.
I know my old home phone number.
And so, yeah. So he goes to get JJ's biological dad, who he leaves in a well, mind you. The other kids are, I don't know, looting a ship.
Okay.
Now,
Also, they had an outfit change, and I'm like, where the fuck did you get those clothes? You guys could barely steal an apple without getting caught.
Yeah, they stole the clothes. And JJ and Kiara have one kind of fun conversation-ish. And then we're on the run again. We steal a car. We leave JJ's dad in a well. He somehow makes it out, I think, from the pirates. I'm not sure. However, we all end up at these ruins, I'll say, or like this townhouse. I don't know.
This townhouse. It was like
this house in a town is what I more meant.
Yeah, it was just an old structure.
And now we're being shot at by the pirates.
Oh my god!
Because we're trying to find a crown that I know nothing about.
When they're like, we have 4 bullets, there's like 7 of them. I was like, why don't you shoot one of them and take their gun?
No. Let's throw bricks at them instead.
But they would like disable somebody, and then I'm like, take the gun.
Meredith, that's way too easy.
I've never played any of these like war computer games, but that would be my immediate thought: is you always upgrade your weapons.
You would think, but what do I know?
I'm just a girl.
We're being shot at. JJ gets the crown that I don't know.
JJ's like, you know what? Let me climb this horse statue in the middle of a sandstorm.
A sandstorm show. It was wild. And how is no one? I know they had goggles, but no one is like, ugh, it's in my mouth. Like no one's complaining. We're having full dialogue in a sandstorm.
But then every once in a while they'd be like, oh my god, like not when they're talking.
Only the pirates though. They were the only ones affected, and it was only when they were about to take a shot. So then
it was so bad.
It gets worse. So then JJ has this crown, and the JJ's bio dad shows up and is like, you shouldn't have left me in a well, and grabs Kiara and goes, I'll fucking kill her if you don't give me the crown. And JJ's like, you know what? I already have all I ever have wanted, and gives the crown to his bio dad. And then saves Kiara, and that's the first time I believe JJ cares about her at all.
Same.
And then he gets his bio dad stabs him.
I didn't understand it.
You already won.
I know. It happened so quickly. I was like, what is happening right now?
Also, I didn't understand why they had to have that long a hug. This took it. The bio dad had ages to stab JJ. I think he was just like, stop hugging and stab.
I don't know. That guy, I don't understand the bio dad's character because I just don't get it.
I don't get it. JJ just needs enough to pay his taxes, and then you can have the rest of the money,
like,
you know?
Why can't you split it with your son a little bit?
It was weird. And then, so JJ starts dying, and he still basically doesn't really like Kiara, but thank God he dies, because that's
Kiara's like, hold on, let me look at it. And then she stares at his wound for like 10 minutes and is like,
so bloody. Yeah, fucking, what do you think you were going to do? We're in the middle of a sandstorm.
I've watched Grey's Anatomy. Hold the wound, pressure on the wound, bitch.
The thing is
he's gonna die, let's be honest.
Is it deadly immediately? I don't know. But
No. But like, we're in the desert. This man is not surviving, but let's pretend like he might.
He hasn't had food or water for days.
There's actually no water in his blood because like he hasn't drank water in 8 days.
So he dies, and then all the Pogues show up, and we have a very loving moment. And I'm sitting here like, are the pirates
mean the 800th campfire that they've had this episode?
No. At JJ's dead body. And I'm like, are the pirates still after you, though?
They just disappeared off into the sunset.
And then Rafe calls his girlfriend and is like, I know you made a deal on behalf of my deal, which I didn't understand any of the deals. And he's like, we're done. And I was like, no.
He's like, was it true?
She's like, Rafe? And I was like, no, don't do it. And so then we somehow we found Rafe in the structure that we were in. That's where him and Sarah decide to work together, and they're pregnant now. You know, he finds out. It was great. They're friends. They're siblings now. I don't know.
They're going to work together. They're not against each other.
We all have a campfire. So we're basically replacing JJ with Rafe. And Rafe's like, we should get revenge. And all the Pogues are like, sounds really good. But meanwhile, JJ's dad's in the ocean with the crown.
Dude, he just like walked out into the ocean, and I thought he was gonna like get on his knees and sob because he just killed his son.
Yeah.
And like have a little regret.
Where
but,
is he going?
He was like smelling the blood.
is he walking back to the United States?
Actually, he found the life ring, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just ride back to
This.
I'll ride back to the U.S. where he has to go to Lisbon. I don't know why, but I do remember that they were like, "We're going to Lisbon. We're gonna avenge his death."
Go back to Charleston and just let me watch you.
They can't because Shoop needs Biodad in order for them to not have any of their charges.
I know,
actually
but
are
if it was
pending.
up to me, why don't you just live a fun, like season 4 could have been like, we find out Sarah's pregnant and like she doesn't know how to tell John B, and John B keeps talking about how he doesn't want kids. We could have done that trope. We could have actually watched JJ like struggle with who he is and deal with Kiara. We could have watched Pope and Chloe have like a beautiful life. We could have seen Kiara like work out with her parents and figure that, because now her parents are so scared she's gonna ignore them that they're like, anything you want,
they actually did help her this time. They're like, okay, I kind of understand that this is just who you are always going to be. And her dad pushed a cop to make sure that the cop didn't shoot at them.
That was crazy. Her dad's in jail now. Stop assaulting cops who are shooting. I mean, I'm not one for the police again.
Oh my God.
If you are on this show, stop assaulting the police officers. And then, on top of all of that, we find out all the drama of the actor that plays JJ, I think his name's Rudy, and then the woman who plays Kiara, I think her name is something else. Why can't I know?
What? I don't know this.
Madison. Oh my God. So, I'm sure you know that the two main, John B. and Sarah, Madeline and Chase Stokes,
used to date.
They did, and they've broken up, but they still, I believe they're in love. You
can tell the writing is different because they're not. I'm sure they're trying to not cross boundaries because like he's dating someone else, but they don't kiss as much or like
they still have really intimate moments.
Correct.
Which I think is really beautiful. They're not doing big makeout scenes, but that's fine. I liked like a little intimate moment of when she was like
foreheads and like talking.
He was like, oh my God.
The way they talk is he's very delicate with her.
Yeah, it's very cute, but they're able to professionally do it, and I think that is like so important to them. Okay, so here's the high level drama. Did the other two
date and break up?
Nope. Here's the high level drama. So, stick with me here.
Okay,
it's Rudy and Madison.
I think her name is Madison.
So they were really good friends season 1.
Okay,
and then Rudy started dating like the director assistant Elaine on OBX, but then people did digging into Elaine, obviously, and because this was like the biggest show and Rudy was like a big heartthrob, and so people obviously look into who he's dating. She is incredibly problematic, like racist, misogynistic, really rude, just like not, and it's all on like Twitter and people have like receipts and stuff, so people immediately like don't like her.
This is after season 1 came out when we also had all this free time.
Yeah. She also ended up getting fired from the show. We don't know why, but she's fired. So at the same time, Madison starts dating this girl, Mariah. And people kind of like Mariah at first, but then Mariah also just starts to become like a clout chaser because all her shit, even today, all her shit is with this famous girl. Like she's just a clout. She's chasing her girlfriend's clout, basically, is what people think. So, but that comes out like kind of later. But whatever, that's who they're still dating to this day.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. So Rudy and Madison were really good friends season 1. The whole cast was like, they really gelled. Season 2, they're still like pretty good friends, working through it, whatever. And then it starts to get like iffy around season 3, I believe. So people really hate Elaine, which is like a big thing for Rudy. Obviously, he made like a bunch of posts about it in the like on his social media and stuff. But then also people start speculating that Madison doesn't like Elaine.
Gotcha.
And so like the rest of the cast doesn't, because like the rest of the cast would be out, but Rudy wouldn't be there because
obviously puts distance
dating Elaine.
Just in their friendship, let alone their working relationship.
So like there was supposedly a lot of issues between Rudy and the cast because of Elaine, but people noticed it most with Madison because she's kind of messy, which like I'm fucking for all the time. But
especially if Elaine is like racist and Madison is a black I believe she's a black woman,
also
right?
got hired. Yeah, Madison's a black woman.
Well,
and so is Mariah.
Nervous for like representing people, but okay.
Yeah, totally get it. But then Elaine also, I think in season 2, came back to do like photo shoots for OBX. I don't know.
Okay.
But either way, she was around, and then that's where people, I think, the drama started. But by season 3, like there was even a live Madison did with her girlfriend where someone asked a question about Rudy, and her girlfriend said something like, "No, we're not fucking talking about him," or something like that. And Madison was kind of like, "Dude, can you stop?" So there's messiness happening, and people are picking up on it. And then it's obviously very messy. They are not friends now. They've all unfollowed. Like these 4 have all unfollowed each other. They are like not friends. There's tons of drama amongst them. So then filming season 4, Rudy, I don't think wanted to be near Madison. And I think Madison was probably a little more professional because she actually, I could believe, liked JJ. I thought JJ fucking hated Key, so I
That's
couldn't
the
even
thing is clearly then the writers saw the distance with the cast and then wrote to that.
The writers are also involved because there were a few writers, directors that unfollowed Rudy.
So they killed him off.
Well, yeah, they keep saying that like, oh, it was always going to be JJ to go. It was always going to be JJ to go.
No way.
I think JJ, his contract, or what's his name? Rudy's contract was up season 4. So I think he chose to also leave. He was like, I want out because he's already having these riffs. It's not working. And it was to the point, people speculate, that by the second part, because I think they filmed part 1 and then filmed part 2. By the second, when they were filming part 2 of season 4, there was speculation that Rudy and Madison were using stunt doubles. So I'll give you, there's one scene where Key hugs JJ, and the picture doesn't look like JJ at all. Like someone grabbed a still and was like, I don't think this is JJ. But it's kind of far away and blurry and you can't really tell. But when they're all by the campfire, when JJ and Sarah wash on the beach, people are like, it's fucking weird that Kiara didn't like say anything to JJ. And then all we see are shots of like JJ's face looking down and then Kiara's face leaning on him, looking up, but we don't see the two of them together. And people are like, that's because they used a stunt double because they couldn't even film that intimate scene together. Yeah. Which I had
no idea any of this.
I did, because I was like, I can't believe these two are in love.
That makes so much sense.
They cut out a lot of the scenes.
Your entire walkthrough and like it being so focused on the two of them. Alicia, I had no idea any of this was happening at any point of watching this show. I also picked up on them like being weird, but I just assumed that either like a dating thing happened or like a rift did happen or they're just not great actors or like something.
Yeah. Well, part 1, they had like a few scenes together and then they like had that one like kiss scene when they were like
they didn't have many
bubble.
Solo. Yeah. Like
yeah,
just
they didn't have a lot, but like it didn't really call for it. But then you have like Key staying back when JJ is hanging out with his dad, and then his dad assaults Kiara, and you're gonna tell me psycho JJ isn't mad at his dad for doing that?
Yeah.
No one even told him? JJ's off with his, why do we have a bio dad for JJ? Because whenever you have a bio dad, you get removed from the situation. Like Chase Stokes got removed from Madeline for a little bit because they had just broken up. So he filmed a lot with his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
it is. But JJ was always alone. He was never with really any of them. So you saying that they all have had a rift makes so much sense. It wasn't just because to me, it like always screams like a breakup, but it was truly like a friendship breakup between all of these people.
Yeah, they also had to do promo for like the show, and in it, it's like the whole basically the promo was like doing a commercial for their bait shop or whatever, and the whole cast is in one place, and JJ is just like off to the side.
My God.
It's like really obvious. I don't know if Rudy's a bad actor or Madison's a bad actor. They're both unprofessional or like what?
It seems like both sides let this personal stuff get way too far. Like they should have put the kibosh on the drama for their work relationships, but Rudy can't act through it either.
That's it. Is like, I think Chase and Madeline were super professional in the sense that they never spoke badly about each other. Chase always would get asked about it, and he always said like, our characters come first, and I'm so lucky to still be able to act with her on this. And like these two, my God, they can't even they don't even do interviews together.
Oh my God, Alicia.
And like they didn't even date.
That's insane.
You should fall down the TikTok rabbit hole. I felt. Anyway, I'm not reading I am reading, but I'll tell you guys when I finish. And then I'm not
That's where I'm at. I'm too early into something to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not listening either. Besides, we've already been chatting for 2 hours. And we had a lot of news.
My mind is blown.
Yeah,
oh my God, I just disliked it. I didn't know all this extra.
And there's gonna be one last final it better be the fucking end.
It better be good without Rudy being a part of it. If it's not,
I think. Hear me out. Kiara and Rafe, because hear me out. Remember when she got kidnapped and then Rafe was weirdly there too?
Yeah,
I was kind of like,
dude, because earlier you said Rafe basically replaced JJ. I was thinking that same thing.
There doesn't need to be a full-on love story, even if it's just
learning.
Even if because Kiara's gonna be mourning. I would love a banter. Like if the two of them just had really good banter.
I would love if this brought out Rafe's like soft side and how if he was like gentle
Kiara's
with
like
her.
a sister almost to him, which he has. I mean, when they got kidnapped together, he was really nice to Kiara.
Yeah,
and I think he's always had like a weird soft spot for Kiara.
Yeah. I would love that.
I fucking love Rafe. It's so toxic.
Like, I want that because, like, you get this every once in a while whenever, like, a character does die. I want him to be, like, them to, like, bond over this or, like, him to be there for her and then be like, I know you're mourning, but, like, when you're ready, I'm here for you.
And just end it like that. We don't need to see it.
So then, like, we can just, like, I love when shows end it where you can, like, build your own true ending where they kind of wrap things up enough, but then you can be like, I think Rafe and
you know how
Kiara
you could do it? Kiara could even be like, why are you being fucking nice to me? And Rafe's like, I've always really liked you, Key. And she's like, no, you haven't. And he's like, yes, I have. And they argue a little bit about it. And he's like, and like, it just, he like gets so mad. He blurts out, he's like, I've always had a crush on you. And she's like, what? And he's like, and then he's like, you don't obviously have to act on it, but yeah.
I love that.
Anyway, let me write the show. I know what I want. Stop looking for treasure in different countries. We don't have to do it.
Okay, if you're going to look for treasure, make it a little simpler. Like, we don't need 8,000 people involved.
Like the first season.
I like when they focus on the clues and trying to figure the clues out. Like,
you found
I want to believe that I could find treasure.
Yeah.
Don't focus on 8,000 people trying to find the treasure. Focus on the clues.
Fight scenes. Stop giving me fight scenes. It's like when One Tree Hill brought Crazy Derek. I don't need a fight scene. Just get the police to arrest him and be done.
Listen, no, there needs to be like one or two because I need to believe that like this is so important and like they gotta find it first. You can add pressure through a few fight scenes, but we don't need an entire like sandstorm plus a fight scene situation plus a horse obstacle. Like that's just too much.
We don't need it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Great. Let's just end the show there because that was great. Do all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the episode.
Thanks for joining. Bye.